We left off V'lag Harbe Gias Basar. Right, Malamed, Sir Papa said, name Rav Acha Barada, Chaf Aleph Beis, but 10 lines down from the middle wide lines. Malamed Shikol Malag Al Devercham Nidoin B'Tzoas Rosecha. So we ended up with the boiling hot excrement that a person gets punished with, to which Maskov Rava Miksiv Lag, does it say lag, which would imply a lush of mocking. But what it says lahag with a hey ksiv, but rather it's a very opposite message. Not about those who denigrate, but rather kolahiga behen, anybody who is immersed in Torah, who analyzes the words of the sages. Toam tam basar. When he learns Torah, it's like a juicy steak. It's always delicious. It's always exciting and tasty. So that's what it means. Yigiaz basar. It's from a positive context of when you eat meat, the feeling that gives you on a physical level, same kind of feeling on a spiritual level when you immerse yourself in Torah study. Okay, let's catch up on the Rashis. V'lag harbe. Right. I think we did that Rashi. It's referring to the punishment of the excrement. Right. That's where we're up to. B'chol shah. When a person who immerses himself at all times in Torah, person goes over Torah all the time. Motzi behen tam. He finds certain taste, a certain geschmack out of it. It's a very, gives one tremendous amount of satisfaction. So it's referring to the positive benefits of Torah as opposed to those who mock it. It's those who immerse themselves in it. Based on how you understand that word v'lahag, is it negative or is it positive? Okay, ready to move on. Not out of the Agadata yet. Tanar Bonon. We learned in a Brisa. Ma'aser Rabbi Akiva she'chavish beis asur. There's a story about the great Rabbi Akiva who was once languishing in jail, as the Romans took people and put them in jail if they taught Torah publicly. And Rabbi Akiva certainly did that. So here we'll see he was old at this point, and at the end of his life he was thrown in jail. And Yeshua Garsi was his servant, so to speak, the one who took care of him, and his shamish. So every single day they would bring him water with a certain measure. One particular day, this particular shomer, who was the guy in charge, the warden in charge of the jail, seemed to point out, maybe he was new on the job, or maybe just he was in a bad mood. I don't know what happened that day, but he says, he looks like you have a lot of water, Rabbi Yeshua Hagarsi. It looks like you're smuggling in more water than you need to Rabbi Akiva. Maybe you're trying to carve out and dig out a hole that Rabbi Akiva can escape. Is that why you need the water, to soften the ground, to carve out, to make a cave, or a tunnel for him? It says shafach chetzia, he poured out half the water, and he gave Rabbi Yeshua Garsi only the half of it. When they came to Rabbi Akiva, he says to his loyal servant, Rabbi Yeshua, don't you know that I'm an old person? And my life is dependent on your life, and like now you bring me half the water, like what's pshat? You know how necessary this is for me. And so he told him exactly what happened, what went down with this guard, who basically made his life very rough and took away half the water and made Rabbi Akiva's life difficult. Amalai, so when he heard everything, he says to Rabbi Shua, Taili Mayim, give me the water she'etal yadi, I should wash my hands. Amalai, he said, Lishtais a megil, it's not even enough for you to drink. It doesn't even serve your drinking needs. Lito yodecha megin, it should be enough to wash your hands. You're going to wash your hands before you even have what to drink. Amalai Ma'aseh, he said to him, what do you want me to do? Shechayavan ala misa, that if I don't wash my hands and I eat bread without washing my hands, I'm chayiv misa. No one ever talks this way nowadays, because we don't really just appreciate the full import of not listening to the rabbis. Rabbi Kiva understood. He says, if I don't wash my hands, I'm going to be chayiv misa because I ignored the rabbinic din. Obviously there are special circumstances here, but he didn't want to rely on that. He says, Mutav almost misa atzmi. It's better that I die if I die a death that I brought upon myself based on the fact that I didn't drink enough. But I don't want to be over the opinion and the laws of my friends. Meaning the Chachamim. Amru, they say about Rabbi Kiva on that day, Lotam klum at shehevi l'mayim, he would not taste anything until they brought him some water. And he brought him the water of yadav, and he washed his hands. And that's what he did, and who knows what was left, probably nothing left after that, but at least he washed his hands to make a motzi on the bread. When the Chacham heard this incredible story, they said about Rabbi Kiva, if this is the mysterious stuff that she has for Avodas Hashem in his old age, can imagine when he was younger. Okay, but obviously we know Rabbi Kiva turned around at 40. So it doesn't mean when he was a teenager. It means when he was much younger, because before that he was not in good shape. This is the way he is so committed to Torah mitzvos in jail. Can you imagine how much more so he's committed, and he's an incredible tzaddik outside of jail? So they were very impressed by Rabbi Kiva. Okay, let's see Rashi. Any Rashi? Hagarsi, Shem Makom. Either Yerusha Garsi he's called that way because of the place that he came from, or Lishnachrina, or another version of what the word Garsi means, Shayetaychen Grisim. He would grind some type of grain or I don't know, animal food, whatever. He grounded it down and some kind of beans maybe. So either Agarsi is referring to the job that he was a grinder of stuff that grows from the ground, or he was a Garsi, that's the name of the place that he came from. Okay, don't you know that my life depends on your life? Because I don't. The only thing I have is what you give me and what you prepare for me. So I'm completely stuck. Whatever you bring me from the outside is what I'm going to eat. So if you're short on water today, that's going to mean I'm going to have a rough day. Okay, Bialdusa. If this is what he did in his old age, imagine what he did in his youth. Where he was much more capable in his youth and his strength to deal with hardships and difficulty. Can imagine how committed he was then. Okay, let's proceed. Back to the Gemara. Omar Yehuda. So Rav Yehuda says, name is Shmuel. B'shah shetikin Shlomo Eruvin u'til Sedayim, when Shlomo HaMelech was masakein two halachas, the halachas of Eruvin, the need for ruvei chatzeros, where you cannot walk from one Rosh Hashanah to another without an Eruv, without merging them with some kind of a chalo or matzah, things that we've been learning about, obviously, for a long time now. We mentioned it in Shabbos as well. Util Sedayim, and when Shlomo instituted the rule that before you eat something holy, you have to wash your hands. which is a precursor for the halacha of washing before you eat bread. Okay, Yotzes Baskol, V'yomer Baskol comes out and says, B'ni, okay, my Baskol came out and said, B'ni, Im Chacham, and it's a pasuk in Mishlei, Im Chachem Libcha, if your heart is wise, Yismach Libi Gamani. So my heart will also rejoice when I see somebody who has that insight to make these takanas for my sake, to protect my Torah. It causes me great joy. The Yomer, furthermore, it says, another pasuk in Mishlei, a few prakim away, be wise, my son, and make my heart rejoice. For Shiva Cherfi Dovar. And I will respond with any type of shame of that comes our way. I will respond by doing something and by responding. And another statement of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's love for Shlomo, that he had the insight and the wisdom to institute these halachas that protected Kachim on one hand and also protected the laws of Shabbos on the other hand, because by instituting Eruvin Chatzeros, it kept in line all of the laws of carrying that would have started to fall apart if there'd be a lot of interactions from one Rishus to the other Rishus without the proper guidelines. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu was, according to this Gemara, was extremely happy with Shlomo Melech. Let's do Rashi. Shlomo tikein Eruvin Chatzeros v'goza sholo hotzi mishus hayoch l'shus hayachid l'shus hayach chavero laso siyog v'harchok l'isa Torah. So he made a decree not to be able to go from one Rishus Hayachid to the Rishus Hayachid of your friend in order to make a fence, and Archaka, to distance oneself from the Isa Torah. We don't want people to start saying, oh, I can do this, I can carry here, I can also carry there, and people will start carrying from Rishus Harabim to Rishus Hayachid. And to this day we see the whole carrying thing, and certainly was true in the time of the Gemara that carrying was somehow not perceived by the general population as being a serious malacha. The other malachas, they seem to buy into much more than the prohibition of carrying. And I remember, growing up in the Kew Gardens, hearing some people come to shul, and there was no Eruv at the time, and you can still hear the keys in their pockets, and so, it just seemed to always be a challenge. And these Eruvs nowadays make it a different challenge. That Bechal kids don't even know there's such a thing as carrying on Shabbos as an issue. Yeah, let's proceed. Okay, as a handle and as he created a handle and and he probed. Tikei Mishalom, he set up many parables. Shasa is Naim L'Torah. As Gemara is going to explain, Rashi is giving us a little bit of a precursor to the Gemara coming up, that he created handles for the Torah, that you can hold on to it. Like the handles of the Kli, that you hold on to it, and you can't move a Kli without being able to have handles that will allow you to. So these were the handles for the Torah that allowed us to keep the Torah by creating these guidelines. Okay, the Yadayim. So he was Misakein Eruvin Chatzeros and the Tilas Yadayim, the Tilas Yadayim Lasos Yog Lataros. This was the initial decree of washing your hands to make a protection for taros, for holy things that needed to be eaten in a state of purity. So even though you went to the mikveh and you were tahar and you didn't do anything today, that would put you in a bad spot, by creating the obligation to wash your hands before you eat, that keeps the Torah issue high in your mind. You're focused, and by being focused, it teaches us not to, sort of take it lightly, and not develop into the whole idea of washing for bread. So a lot of people, take this whole bread thing very lightly, but it's obviously should not be taken lightly at all. Okay, let's go weiter. Let's see here. Darash Rava. Okay, right before the wide lines, 2 lines before the really wide lines. Darash Rava. My diksiv. What does it mean? L'chodaidi. Come, my beloved one. Neitzei asada. Let's go out to the field. Nalina big farm. Let's sleep in the villages. Nashkima l'kramim. Let's get up to the vineyards. Nira in Parcha Geffen. Let's see if the vines have sprouted. Posach Hasmadar, the grape has opened up. Hinatsu Arimainim, if the pomegranates have begun to blossom and open up. Shom eten esdo diloch, there I will give my beloved to you. Okay. So l'cha shom eten dodi loch. Okay. So that's the pasuk. This is a pasuk, sounds like Shir Hashirim. No, 1 second. Yeah, it is Shir Hashirim, correct. Okay, so now we're going to go through this whole pasuk, clearly again reflecting the love between Klal Yisrael and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So let's see what Shlomo Melech mean by this cryptic pasuk of going out to the field and seeing all this wonderful growth. What is that really referring to? We know it's not, not just about farmers bragging about their beautiful fruits. So what does that mean? So l'chododi, come my beloved Neitzi Asada. So let's go out to the field. Amr Knesset Yisrael v'nei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So the Klal Yisrael says to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ribono Shel Olam, Al Tadineinu, second wide line, Al Tadineinu ki yoshvei krachim. Don't judge me by the people sitting in the big cities, where amazingly, even then, I guess, when you're in the big cities, you got a lot of challenges with the shtick. Sheish ben Gezel, Varayis, there's stuff going on with thievery, there's stuff going on with illicit sexual activities, Ushua Shav, and there's people are lying, Shua Sheker, vain oaths, lying oaths, Neitze Asada. Let's go out to the field. You want to see Jews really committed, you're not going to find them in a big city with the whining and dining on Wall Street and Madison Avenue. That's not where it's going to happen. You want to see your purity and you want to see holiness. Neitze Asada. We got to go out to the field. Bo v'arecha, come and I'll show you Talmidei Chacham sha'iskim b'Torah mitoch hadchak. I'll show you Talmidei Chachamim who are learning Torah from true poverty situations. The Lina B'Kfarim, let's stay over in the villages. Al Tirka B'Kfarim, El B'Kaifrim. Don't read it Kfarim, villages, but rather Kaifrim. It's referring to the people who deny God. Okay, referring to the Gentile nations. Okay, he says they seem to sleep okay. They seem to be you're protecting them. You're making their lives comfortable. Okay, but what about us? Okay, let me show you the seed of Esav Sheshpatal and Taiva, that you're doing good for them. Okay, that's the Kaifrim. Esav, they're the Kaifrim, and they seem to be doing okay. Take a look at Klal Yisrael, look at how special they are, and why don't you make sure we are taken care of? Vein kafru bach, and they deny you. Nashkimul kramim. So that's referring to the Nalina Bakfarim. We're reading Kfarim Kaifrim. Next reference is Banashkimul kramim. Come, let us rise to the vineyards. Let's go up to the vineyards and get up early to see. This is referring to Kramim, referring to the shuls and to the Bate Midrashos. Okay, to the shuls and to the places of learning, where they sit there in rows like a vineyard, as Karen B'Yavne, that these are places where there's holiness going on and learning Torah going on, like a vineyard, with the rows set up like a vineyard. Nira in Parcha Hagefen. Let's see if the vine has sprouted, has blossomed. Elu Bali Mikra. That's referring to the early stages, which is Torah. These are people learning Torah. Pasach HaSmadar Elu Bali Mishnah. These are the people. The Smadar is the next level of the grape, which is referring to the deeper level of Mishnah. Hinatsu Arimainim, have the pomegranates opened up. Elu Bali Gemara. That's the next level of sophistication of learning. That's the people learning Gemara. Shom etein ezdoidi loch. Okay, there I will give myself, my beloved, to you. Erecha kavodi v'godli. I will show you my honor, my greatness. Shavach b'nei b'naisai, the praise of my sons and my daughters. So that's where you can see the greatness of Klal Yisrael. Through the learning, through the Torah, the shuls, and the Bate Midrashos. Not unfortunately in the big cities where you've got a lot of corruption going on. Okay, it's really not in Florida. That's we don't mean that. Okay, so let's see Rashi. We did not. Krochim, right? That's we're up to Krochim in Rashi. So Mokum Shavokim Hain. These are the places of marketplaces. V'yishuv Gadol. There are a lot of Jews there. It's busy metropolis. V'regel Roichlin. Okay. There are the feet of the peddlers there. V'sochrin Mitzuyisham, and merchants are found there. Lefigach Gezel Varayis Noig Behen. If you find people traveling away from home and selling and wheeling and dealing, you're going to find people not connected to Torah, and you're going to find theft there. You're going to find illicit behavior there. Unfortunately, that's it's the nature of these. Unfortunately, business takes you very often, if you're not careful, to bad places. Hasadeh, B'nei Baga, V'Oivdei Adama. Let's see the Aleph, Baga, Asada B'nei Baga V'Oivdei Adama. So I guess people working the fields and working the ground. V'Oskim, they're out there more in the boondocks. V'Oskim b'Torah mitov doichik, and these farmers are poor people, and that's they just manage. They barely manage, and they're oisik b'Torah, and that's certainly what we saw in Europe a lot. A lot of people just planted their stuff and just managed to get by, and they were very involved in Torah. Smadar Godol mi Perach. It's greater than the Perach, than the original blossoming of the vine. Kach Mishnah Mufresh Mikra. That's symbolic of the Mishnah, which is more explicit and obviously goes into more details than the mere psukim, than the pure psukim of the Torah. Obviously, the Mishnah goes and expounds on that even more. Heinatzar Rimainim, God loy called Tzarchon. That's already the growth of the Rimain is full bore. Kfar Hanetz Godal Sivosov Kein Shomer Sheish Lagoizim Ketanim. Like a Kfar Hanetz Godal Sivosov. I guess the blossom and the flowers have grown around it. Kein Shomer Sheish Lagoizim Ketanim. Like the protection of the item, of the fruit or whatever you're referring to, like you have for small nuts, walnuts. So I guess that's the Heinatz Remoinim, is the protection that grows around the Remoinim. And that's referring to Gemara, which is, I guess, further elaboration and further clarification than even of the Mishnah. Okay, we are ready to go weiter. I think that we've done the Rashis now, and now we can go further. Amr Vamnuna. Right? Amr Vamnuna. My Diksiv, Vamnuna says, furthermore, what does it mean when it says in the Pasuk, Vaidaber, Shloshes, Alofim, and he spoke 3,000 mashal. Okay, this is a Pasuk in Malachim. This is not Mishnah, this is a Pasuk in Malachim referring to Shal Melech. He spoke 3,000 mashals, Vehi Shira Chamishav Elef, and his song was 1,005. So 3,000 parables and 1,005 songs. So what's that referring to? So back to the Gemara here. This teaches us on every single matter of Torah. Shlomo was so able to expound that out. Okay, he gave 3,000 mishalim in explaining and elucidating the halachas of the Torah on every matter of the Torah. I'll call Dava v'Dava Shel Seifrim, and then on every rabbinic matter that the rabbis came along. And again, based on Rashi, there are two angles to this rabbinic aspect. What the rabbis explained from the Torah, and also what they might have instituted on their own. But clearly, it seems to include also their interpretations that are of the Rice's status, but it's still the rabbis who came and explained it. Chamishav Elef Taimim, 1,005 reasons for the rabbinic laws or the rabbinic explanations of things. Okay, no, only one Rashi, Moshel Tam. So when you talk about a parable, Rashi says that's referring to the reasoning behind what the Torah says. So 3,000 reasons and 1,005 No, three. I'm sorry. 3,000 reasons, and tamim, and 1,005 also. Okay, I guess the way Rashi learns that mashal is right. 1,005 for the. So I just from Rashi saying mashal means tam. It comes out that they're both really meaning the same thing because he says. I thought mashal maybe has a different connotation, but mashal is tam and tam is tam. So essentially, the Gemara is really saying that he just explained. He had 3,000 explanations from the Torah laws and 1,005 for the rabbinic laws or enactments or elucidations, however, whatever is referred to here by the rabbis. Okay.
Art school covers both.
What?
Art school covers both.
Okay, I mean
1,000 reasons, but stated them in parables.
Okay, fair enough. But he doesn't put that to Rashi, does he?
No.
Okay, right.
Eitz Yosef, an explanation of Rashi.
Okay, good. Shkayach, let's go weiter. Darash Rava. Rava Darshan. My diksiv v'yoyse shoyikelas chacham oidli meidasis am. Okay, in addition to Kehelis, this is a pasuk in Koheles. Okay, yeah, towards the end there. Okay, in addition to Koheles referring to Shlomo Melech being wise, Oidli meidasis am, he taught the nation knowledge. Izain, he made handles for them. V'chiker, and he probed. Tikim Mishalom Harbe, and he set up many Mishalom, many parables. So, okay, this is right there describing what Shlomo Melech did for Klal Yisrael. So now we're going to explain this. This is the pasuk Rashi referenced earlier, that this is all based on what Shlomo Melech did to help Klal Yisrael. So, Limidas, he taught knowledge to the people, the Agmei B'Simone Taimim. He taught them the powers and the meanings of these different cantillations, what the tropes and things, and how you pronounce words, and all these types of very high level, highfalutin meanings of the Torah. The Asbra, okay, but my domile, okay, and he explained it with things that are similar to it. He used parables to explain it, so that people, by using a mashal, and that's why people, I guess, like stories so much, because the story gives you the message in a roundabout way. So who doesn't love a good story? Okay, so I guess the original Pesach Kron. Okay, the Izei v'chiker. Okay, he gave it handles and he probed Tikim Mishalom Harbe, and he set up many parables. Amar Ula Amar Blazar, B'tchila Ha'isa Torah Daimel Kfifa. So originally Torah was like a basket she'ein lo znaim that had no handles. Until Shlomo came, v'asal lo znaim, and he gave the handles. He gave the law's protection by the laws that he introduced on top of the Torah laws that gave it protection, as we said earlier, with the Eruvin Chatzeros and the Tilas Yadayim. Look at Rashi. Agmar b'Simone Taimim. Kavalo Maseres. He established the Messiah of how you pronounce words, V'Simonim, Ben Tevis, Hamikra, Ben Girsa, Shal Mishnah, whether it be the words and how the trup would go down in the Torah, and also in how you properly what are the exact the exact language of the Mishnah, which is very interesting because the Mishnah clearly wasn't written yet, but this is probably Al Pi Nevuah, Ayin L'Kamon, Nun Dalid, okay, Martzach. So this is again, part of what we have written down. Clearly, Moshe Rabbeinu got the oral tradition. He got Torah Sheba'al Peh. So it's not like it didn't have it wasn't in the world. It was in the world. It just wasn't written down. So these certain statements of the Mishnah that maybe were almost verbatim the way Moshe handed it down. So Shlomo tightened it up and fixed it up that it should be clear and precise. So he did a lot for Klal Yisrael. V'osalo oznaim, and he gave the Torah handles. Shatikin Eruvin v'yadayim, because he was masaking the laws of Eruvin and the laws of the Tilas Yadayim. V'goza ala shniyos arais, and here's another one we learned about in Yavamis, those good old days of Yavamis, that he made rules about the secondary eruvos. Right, there are what, 26 or whatever the exact number is of arayis in the Torah, somewhere in the 20s, and then you had additional arayis, rabbinic arayis. So who instituted the rabbinic arayis of other relationships that you cannot marry into, even though technically from the Torah they're permissible. That was Shlomo Melech. And through these handles, so to speak, and these further decrees of separating yourself more and more from the proximity of the actual Aveira, the Klai Yisrael would hold on to the mitzvot, okay, because they went further away from the actual Aveira, the same way it's easier to hold on to a Kli, right? You take a pot without a handle, it's a lot tougher carrying a pot without a handle than a pot with a handle. So it's a lot easier to fulfill the Torah with the guidelines that we have rabbinically than if there were no guidelines, even though you certainly hear people complain. If they just had the deraisis, the Rabbanan would stay out of our business, and things would be a lot easier, but it's just not true. Things would be more devastating because we'd be trampling on the actual Aveira. Okay, fine. So we're done with Rashi's for the page. Now let's proceed. Amr Ula, 3 lines from the bottom. Amr Ula Amr Belazar. Betchila Haisa Taira Daimel Kfifa. Oh no, we did that. Sorry. Amr Chiza. Right, 2 lines from the bottom. Kavaitzasav Taltalim. So his locks were wavy, I think it is literally translated. Also a pasuk in Shir Hashirim. Okay, so what does that mean? Again, these are all parables to something more spiritual nature. Of course, Shir Hashirim is physical in its description, but we know that it reflects relation between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael, a deep, intimate, spiritual relationship. So what does Kivaitzos of Taltala mean? Amar v'chizda amar mar ukva malamed sheishudrosh al kol koitz v'koitz tilei tilim shalachas. On every little dot, every little point, and every little, tag, we know even on the crowns of the letters of the Torah, there's so much to interpret, there's so much to learn. Rabbi Kiva was known for that, okay, and that's the message here, that even on the small little points, there's tilei tilim, pause and pause of halachas. Shecharos ka'arev, black as a raven, that's the end of that pasuk. Okay, what does that mean, black as a raven? B'miyata motzon. Okay, who will you find, Torah, where will you find the ability to interpret these things amongst the Chachamim? B'misha mashkim umarav alayim l'beis hamedrash. Those who get up early and those who stay up late to go to the Beis Medrash to learn, that's the ones who you're going to find the ability to understand these things. Obviously, you have to throw yourself and immerse yourself in Torah study. So, top Rashi, Shemashkim umariv, Shechayros Loshen Shachris. Okay, Shechayros is a Loshen of early morning. Okay, right, Taltalim Shechayros. Ka'erev Loshen Arvis. And like a raven is referring to Arvis. So it's obviously a little bit of a play on words, but the interpretation here is those people get up early and learn late. Those are the people who are going to end up illuminating Torah for Klal Yisrael. Okay, that's one shot. Rabba Omar b'misha mashchir ponav aleim ka'orev. Rabba says it's the one who blackens his face like a raven. Raven is black. And if you're that committed and you're so immersed in Torah study that your face blackens from all the hard work, then that's a similar idea that's where you're going to find Torah. Okay, that's Rabba's pshat. Rava has a different pshat, a little tough to understand, but I guess we'll see. Rava amar b'misha meisim atzma achzori abanav yal bnei beiso ka'orev. It's a person who makes himself callous or an achzorius, brazen, a little bit hard on his children and on his family, like a raven. Okay, that basically the message is, if you want greatness in Torah, you're going to have to, a little bit, or maybe a lot, and obviously this is delicate in terms of the obligations to your family. You got to know what your family can handle, obviously, but you have to be somewhat callous to your family's needs in terms of focusing on your growth in Torah. So take a look at Rashi. Orev Achzori Albonov. Okay, in Orev, by nature, the raven is callous to his own offspring. Kediksiv Livnei Orev Asher Yikro. Okay, to the offspring of the raven that they call out. Hakadosh Baruch Hu mezameh lahem yutushin. Right, Hakadosh Baruch Hu is the one who feeds the ravens, these gnats and flies. And they come into the mouths of the ravens. So the ravens don't spend their time, apparently, taking care of their offspring. That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu's job. So there's a level of achzorius that was built into the raven, and that is what you have to be if you want to be great in Torah. You can't always just leave the base medrash every time your kid cries and wants a lollipop. You're a little bit saying, I'm not going to take care of that. Let's see here, back to the Gemara. Ki had Rav Ada bar Masna, just like Rav Ada bar Masna, v'ka'azal bei Rav, he went to the yeshiva of Rav, Amalei devisu, his wife told him, Yunuke didoch my avidlu, what should I do for your children? I mean, we got to eat. Okay, so what do you want me to do? You're going off to the yeshiva and you're leaving your kids hungry. So Amalei mi shlimu kurmei ba'agma. Okay, are there not kurmei in the swamp, in the fields? Kurmei, what's kurmei? Yerokos. There are vegetables out there, so feed them vegetables, they'll be fine. Again, this is obviously people to just jump on this and say, I can ignore my family, so I want to be in yeshiva. That's obviously not the message. These were special people, and I guess you really have to know when you employ this kind of concept. Again, we're in Rashi still. Lishnachrina. Gumi lach, it's some kind of a moist reed. Kilkarta lahurachicha, the isbei. When you uproot it, that softness, when you take it, I guess, pull it out of the ground. This bay v'tochni lei v'avde rifta ba'alav beis. Rav Makir, Rabbi Makir Matzos. I found this in the olive base of Rabbi Machir, it seems, that's who we found it in, that it's referring to some kind of soft reed that you can grind down, you make some kind of a bread out of it. So whatever, it's bottom line, it's a type of food you're going to find out there in the fields. So that's how you want greatness a little bit, again, I would say, certainly before anybody lives a lifestyle based on this little Gemara, they should check with their Gedolei Adar and see if they're doing the right thing. There's no halacha here to follow off the bat. Okay. Takes a lot of wisdom. Okay, let's see. Umishalim, back to the Gemara. Umishalim l'sonov el ponov lavidoi, and he pays his enemies, the ones who hate him, to his face, lahavidoi, to destroy him. Okay, so Kadosh Baruch Hu punishes his enemies. Not punishes. He pays the enemies to his face to destroy him. What does that mean? Amr Yishub ben Levi, Amalei mikra kasav yav shalomro. Okay, if the pasuk wouldn't say it, you couldn't say it yourself. No mere mortal can say this without the Torah saying it. What's the Torah saying? It's a pasuk. Where is that pasuk? Aleph. It's in Devarim Zayin. Okay, yeah. So what does that mean? He says Kaviyachol Kadam. It's like, so to speak, Kaviyachol, like a person shall say Masi al Panov. Okay, he's carrying a burden on his face. Uvakish Shicham, and he wants to throw it off. Okay, so he's got this burden of having to pay the Rishoyim for their good deeds, and I just got to get it off my chest, so to speak. So I pay them now, and I don't deal with them later. Okay, look at Rashi. El Panav Shal HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's referring to something that's on the face of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak. Not that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has a face. And it's like a burden upon him. So he throws it off because it's a weight that's on him that he wants to get rid of. Okay. Lo Yachil Sono. Okay, as the pasuk continues to read, he does not does not delay for those that he hates, or those who hate him. He does not delay to give the reward for those that are the hate HaKadosh Baruch Hu to the Rishonim. But he does delay to tzaddikim gemurim, those he delays the reward because he wants to give them the reward in the next world, not in this world. So that there he will delay. That's why you see a lot of tzaddikim who don't have it so easy in this world because the schar is waiting for them in the next world, and we'll pick this up tomorrow. Shkoyach.